What's good, Winner Circle? Welcome back to another video. We're good. So today we gonna be kicking some butt and taking some names. Yeah, we're gonna be ranking horror movie villains by which ones I think I can beat up. I do have a tier list, and I'm gonna explain this to y'all just so that we're on the same page as far as who as I can beat and who as I cannot beat at all. Tier 1, right at the bottom. You softer than tissue. I can beat your ass. No sweat. It's no problem. It's no issue. It's good. We're good. Tier 2, it's like, okay, I'm going to have to put a little bit more effort in, but it's not going to be too difficult. I still can beat your ass. Tier 3, a little bit difficult. It's getting a little bit difficult. It's like I could beat your ass, but I'm really going to have to put a lot more strength into it. We get into tier 4, and this is where these are the individuals who it's gonna take super strength. It's not impossible that I can beat their ass, but it's just definitely gonna take every ounce of strength that I have in my body to possibly beat them. But it's not impossible. I can definitely beat their ass for sure. Tier 5 is I have no chance in hell to beating this person. I wouldn't even get in the ring with this person. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. That's all I gotta say. Fuck no. We're going to start with Jason. For those of you who don't know Jason is part of the Friday the 13th franchise. This is why you hear everybody always be like, ooh, it's Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. A little backstory on Jason. At a young age, he had drowned at Camp Crystal Lake due to the negligence of the camp counselors who were busy just fucking off instead of paying attention to him. So his mother sought out revenge and she became a killer.
Only child. Jeez. You let him drown. You never paid any attention. Look what you did to him.
After Jason's mother died, somehow, some way, he resurrected from the dead and decided, you know what? I'm taking over. I'm following into my mother's footsteps and I'm finna start killing niggas. Now, while that story may be sad, tragic, disturbing, that's not why we're here today, Winner Circle. We're not here to feel bad for Jason. We're not here to dissect the story of Jason. We're here to see if I could beat his ass. Where does he fall on my tier list? What do I think as far as a physical altercation with this man? Honestly, y'all, you're not gonna like my answer, but I'm gonna put him on tier 2. Yeah, for sure. He's going on tier 2, mostly because I really feel like I could beat his ass. It's plenty of white men who have his same build, and I can whoop their ass. So I know I could beat his ass. Next, we're gonna get into Freddy Krueger. All right, a little backstory on Freddy Krueger. Freddy was a child murderer in the town of Springwood. After escaping legal consequences, the parents of the victims decided to take things into their own hands. So what they did was they trapped him inside a boiler room and burned him alive. That's why his face looked like that. You know, that's why it's fucked up. But Freddy was like, gotcha, bitch. Through dark supernatural forces, he returned as a vengeful spirit with the ability to kill people in their dreams. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Winner Circle. Freddy Krueger used to spook me. You know what I mean? It used to spook me just because he targeted kids. And when I was a kid, I was like, okay, he coming for me. You know, usually you see the horror movies and they going after the adults, but this man was targeting children. None of that matters. None of that matters, because I'm grown now, bitch. Where does he fall on my tier list? Let's think about this. He's basically like a ugly ass Edward Scissorhands. And I know what you're thinking, isn't Edward Scissorhands ugly? Not when it's Johnny Depp, bitch. I think I'm gonna put Freddy Krueger at tier 3. I'm putting him at tier 3 only because I have some childhood trauma with him that I would have to resort out, but I could definitely beat Freddy Krueger's ass. Now I know what you're thinking. You see the blaze? That's supposed to scare me. That don't scare me. All right, you just a burned up white man. Okay, I will beat your ass. It's gonna take a bit more strength. You know, I won't put him at 4. Yeah, I wouldn't put him at 4 just because like I could just stay awake and you won't get me. So yeah, cheated assistant, bitch. Let's get into Candy Man, Candyman. A little backstory on Candyman. Dan Robotali, aka Candyman, was the son of a formerly enslaved man who became wealthy after inventing a machine during the Civil War era. Daniel grew up educated and extremely talented, honestly. He was working as an artist, painting portraits for wealthy white families. He ended up falling in love with a white woman. Let's see where we're going here. He ended up... it's jokes, but... He ended up falling in love with a white woman and fathered her child. Her father sent the mob after him. They brutally tortured him by cutting off his hands, smearing him with honey, and then setting loose some bees to sting him to death. His vengeful spirit lived on as Candyman. You would summon him by saying his name 5 times in front of a mirror. He carries a hook where his hand was and is often surrounded by bees. Now, where does Candyman fall on my tier list? I think I'm gonna put him at tier 1, y'all. I think I'm gonna put him at tier 1. Only because I just know I could beat his ass. I know for sure. Yes, his story is tragic, and honestly, I wouldn't even want to fight Candyman. Like, I wouldn't even want to get in the squabble with him, just because, like, brother, I feel you, man. I get why you're doing what you're doing. Not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I understand why you're doing it. I can for sure beat his ass though. I know plenty of niggas who look like Candyman and wouldn't take nothing to just really you know what I'm saying? Whoop that ass. Now let's get into Annie Wilkes. Annie Wilkes is the infamous villain in Stephen King's Misery novel and also film adaptation. Now a little backstory on Annie. She was a former nurse who outwardly appeared to be very cheerful, sweet, and sometimes nurturing. But under that was an insane woman who needed some fucking help. She loved this author by the name of Paul Sheldon. He wrote this romance novel that included a character by the name of Misery Chastain. After Paul crashes his car in a snowstorm, Annie rescues him and takes him to her isolated home. At first, she seems kind, but when she discovers that he killed off Misery in his latest book, this bitch lost her fucking mind. She went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She decides that she's going to hold him captive and force him to rewrite his story to her liking. And she also subjects him to horrific and psychological abuse. Now y'all already know Winter Circle where I'm throwing her ass. She's going to number 1. We could beat her ass. Hell, even if you are 5 years old, I know you could beat Annie Wilkes' ass. She is not somebody to be afraid of. She's just cuckoo and obsessive, like a lot of fans are, who love their favorite celebrity or whoever it is. I could easily, that's an easy little I ain't even gotta get too crazy with ass. I could just do one little oh shit. I could whoop Annie Wilkes' ass. That's not even a fucking question. That shouldn't even be a question, y'all. Y'all know it's tier 1. You know it, Winter Circle. Now we're gonna get into Pinhead. A little backstory on Pinhead. Pinhead is the villain from Clive Barker's Hellraiser series. Now, originally, he was a human named Elliot Spencer. Pinhead was a British soldier who became disillusioned with humanity after the horrors of World War I. Seeking forbidden experiences, he discovered the laminate configuration. That is a puzzle that opens a gateway to another dimension ruled by Cenobites. Solving the puzzle transformed him into Pinhead, the Hell Priest, erasing much of his humanity and binding him to a life of exploring pain, pleasure, and suffering. Now, the real question is, where does he fall on my list? I think I want to put him, because just looking at him alone spooks the fuck out of me. This nigga looks scary. But it's not about looks, it's about ability. Okay, we're talking about abilities. I'm going to put Pinhead at tier 4. Because although, and I know a lot of y'all thinking like, damn, bro, it's your ego. You're like so egotistical. You think you could beat everybody. No, I do not. Because with Pinhead, I feel like I'm going to have to put some real work in. I'm going to have to work my ass off to beat this nigga's ass. It's going to take a lot of maneuvering. But You know, all I gotta do is look at him like a nigga who just went through acupuncture. That's it. If I ignore the fact that he is, you know, the Hellraiser, whatever, hoopla hoopla, you know, whatever name he gives himself or name that's given to him. If I could just ignore that, we in the green. It's gonna take some work, but what's life without hard work? A life that I want. Please give me a life where I can take it easy. That's it for today's video, Winner Circle. Here is the final tier list. If you want to look at it, let me know. Am I tweaking? Am I overly confident in myself? Or do you really think I could beat their ass like I say I could beat their ass? And do you believe in me, Winner Circle? Let me know if you believe in me in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you go down below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Winner Circle. Also, let me know if you want me to do a part 2 of this video, because there are a lot of horror villains that I did not talk about in this one. So if you want to see that in another video, let me know. I love y'all, Winner Circle. I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.